the February 26th show is built around Jeff Jarrett joining Sex. Russo has convinced him. Russo tells us that Jeff Jarrett has seen the light. He has finally joined Sex, and he's going to reveal why in the main event segment with a big welcome home Jeff banner, and then they play a tape where it's Vince Russo's kids, Will, and I believe BJ is the name of his other son. They cut a promo about how bad a father Vince Russo is. His shoot children are put on the screen. Like, his oldest son, I think, seems like 15, 16. The younger one seems like 8, 9, 10-ish.
The older one's a work of.
That's the thing. Like, it's a good promo. Fair play to him. The apple didn't fall far from the tree. He's a good promo like his dad. Where he cuts this promo about how Vince was never around. He moved them from Connecticut to Atlanta when he went to work for WCW. And then all of his friends and stuff were left behind in Connecticut. And they'd go see movies as a family, but Russo would get a phone call and leave, and he'd missed the whole movie. And he was like, Dad, I love you, but you're not around for this family. I have very conflicted feelings about this, because if you think about it, I think it's pretty effective, but I'm also like, what's the point of this?
I think, well, it's just to further the whole like Jarrett Russo stuff, but I think it's interesting. I think it's pretty compelling. I also think that the live crowd did not give a single fuck or nor shit about it.
Oh yeah, the worst part is when they cut back to Russo live before Russo does this promo about how his kids suck. The crowd are actually chanting boring, and you can hear them chanting boring underneath Will Russo's promo, which is a shame. Again, a good promo. A very great line in the Wrestling Observer from Dave. There's 2 very good sassy lines in the Wrestling Observer from Dave this month. But this one, Russo's son did a taped promo similar to the David Flair deal, saying his father was never home, except Will delivered a good promo.
Yeah, and, as we want to say too, just further biting off of Brian Lawler's gimmick.
Yeah, there's a lot of Brian Lawler characters on the show. A lot of sons giving out about their fathers.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get to that, I'm sure.
It happens multiple times this month. Never mind every other month.
It also ends with a big angle too, so...
Involving Brian Lawler, which we'll again get to in a moment. Russo then responded to his kids, and he called his kids ungrateful shits. And he was like,
one of them a freak.
He did. He called his younger son a freak. And he was like, I let you stay up to watch Howard Stern. I went down and got you out of trouble when you were in trouble in school, and I gave out to your principal. And it's like, all of the things he illustrated are like bad parenting.
I think that's meant to be the bit, though, isn't it?
Probably. That's like, how dare you be ungrateful for my bad parenting.
I let you host poker tournaments in the house after school. And, of course, he ends it with the strongest line of, yeah, well, all right, when I get home, I am going to go into your room, and I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
He does, in fact, threaten child abuse here on national pay-per-view. I wonder, was there people who were like... Because, famously, when Vince McMahon was blown up in his limo on Raw, Donald Trump called Titan Tower as being like, hey, did Vince just die on TV?
That's a guy that was in charge of a country.
Yeah, he was elected by the people to run a country. Great job, America. But I do wonder, was there people who watched this who's like, oh, Vince Russo has threatened to beat his children here on television. I better call Child Protective Services.
No, it's 2003. No one cares.
The Trump one was 2007.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, I mean, they may have thought it was legitimate. They didn't give a shit.
No one cares for poor Vince Russo's kids.
Yeah, and everyone fucking punched their kids in the head in 2003. I think it was just accepted part of the culture.
Okay.
Not saying it was right or wrong. I mean, it was wrong, but, I don't
know. I think you're saying that this is an acceptable behavior. This is an acceptable response for Vince Russo here toward his children, bearing their souls to him.
Hey, Garrett, I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to beat the shit out of you like I've never done before.
I think everybody who listens to this should call the police on it.
Which one?
The Irish police. Get them on the plane. So this segment does end with Jarrett coming out. He spears Russo before the new stable of David Flair, Brian Lawler, and Eric Watts show up. The amazing Fail Son stable of second generation stars nobody ever wanted to see have combined their forces to attack Jeff Jarrett, the second generation son, who I guess people kind of want to see.
You should have seen like the moment of realization when I was like, they're all second generation. Ah, Jarrett's second generation. Ah, we just had Vince Russo's kid on the fucking screen. I was like, wow.
Actually, I think Jarrett might be third generation, but still, either way.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. But like, yeah, following the Russo kid stuff too. Oh, like this is art. This is the closest we've gotten to art in this company.
So we do have a recurring through line in TNA history of it's about people with daddy issues.
Yeah.
Jeff has daddy issues with Jerry, and he's picking sides with Russo, who has daddy issues with Will, who is taking sides with Jarrett, who is feuding with Flair and Lawler and Watts, who all have daddy issues. Wow, what a story running through here, this TNA.
This company's pretty hot. It's got Jarrett versus Watts, Lawler, and Flair.
Oh, yeah, look at the names everybody wants to hear. It's like me booking Steamboat against Flair in my draft show.
Yeah. Tricking the people.
That's all you need to put on the marquee. You don't need to say it's David. You just need to say it's Flair.